We went from zero to hitting 6 figures in revenue with our videography business in the space of 3 years. And in this video, we're gonna share with you the 5 most important habits that we think contributed most to us being able to reach this milestone. Hey guys, my name's Jono. I'm an ex-lawyer turned full-time filmmaker, and on this channel, we talk about filmmaking, self-development, and business. So let's get right into it. Number 1 is getting into the habit of learning and applying. Unfortunately, the formal education system doesn't teach us a way of learning that allows us to actually succeed in the real world. In school, your success is largely determined by your ability to read and memorize materials and then regurgitate that in the form of an exam. It's structured and easy to follow, and because of this, I actually did pretty well at school. But when you get out into the real world, that way of learning will no longer serve you. In the real world, your success will be dictated by your ability to continually learn new things and apply it to your unique circumstances. Remember, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Education at school is tailored towards getting a good job, getting promoted, and then earning a high salary. But I remember listening to a podcast between Joe Rogan and Naval Ravikant, and he says something along the lines of, if someone can tell you where to be at a certain time, then you're not actually free. And university and the formal education system doesn't actually teach us how to be free, to be independent from a paycheck. It doesn't teach us skills that allow us to directly contribute value to the marketplace, how to grow a business, how to acquire customers, and how to sell. And so it's up to us to learn these things in our own time and apply them. Read books, watch YouTube videos, and listen to podcasts. So many people have this perception that their education finishes as soon as they finish university. But the ones who truly exceed, the ones who become financially free and are fulfilled with the work that they do, they're the ones who are able to continually learn new things and apply them into the real world. And in order to do this, you need to start having a bias towards action. It's all well and good learning things by reading books and watching educational videos on YouTube, but knowledge without action is futile. For example, when we bought our first camera back in 2019, we had a strong bias towards action. Instead of consuming endless amounts of content on YouTube, we offered a friend to shoot his wedding for free, even though we didn't know how to use a camera at the time. And I'll tell you what, there's no quicker way of learning how to use a camera than having to capture once in a lifetime memories for a good friend. So if you see an opportunity, tackle it head on. Be fearless. Learn something and then apply the crap out of it by taking massive action. Habit number 2 is the ability to block out the noise and move in silence. One of the biggest obstacles that we face when we try to pursue our dreams is worrying too much about the opinions of other people. What will my family or friends think if I pursue this new endeavor? If I fail, everyone's gonna think I'm a loser. And so if you have aspirations of building anything that is substantial, anything out of the ordinary, you have to learn to block out the noise. A great strategy that I've used is just to move in silence. When you're in the process of building something, try not to mention too much to other people. Too many of us who try to embark on something different often crave the applause of other people. You seek validation from others that the path that you're pursuing is the right one to take. But what ends up happening is you share these aspirations with people who don't think in the same way that you do, and so you're often faced with skepticism and negativity, even from close friends or family who actually care about you. And so when you build in silence, people don't know what to attack. By the time they realize what you've built, it's already too late. You've already built it and no amount of skepticism is able to tear it down. But when you first start out, blocking out the noise is so important because you're still new to the journey, and so you're much more vulnerable to the opinions and advice of other people who haven't achieved what you want to achieve. Habit number 3 is to recognize that you are the content that you consume. This is what separates people living in mediocrity to the people who are able to build amazing lives for themselves. Most people flood their brains with meaningless content such as funny cat videos or reality TV shows. They consume content that provides them an escape from their current reality rather than content that actually makes a positive impact on their lives. And so if you want to do something great, to build something meaningful, you have to be consuming content from the people that you want to become. Read books from role models that you aspire to be, watch their YouTube videos, listen to their podcasts. Over time, what you'll realize is that gradually, their way of thinking will become your way of thinking, and you'll start copying the behaviors that ultimately allowed them to become successful. So in terms of the practical day-to-day, how I personally implement this habit is by watching one piece of meaningful, positive content from someone that I look up to first thing in the morning. By listening to their thoughts, perspectives, and advice first thing in the morning, I find that this really helps prime my way of thinking to start the day. Some amazing entrepreneurs and creators that I consistently consume include guys like Gary Vee, Alex Hormozi, Dan Koh, Ali Abdul. It's kind of like when you're trying to lose weight and get healthy, you need to build better habits around the food that you consume. Eating less junk food like McDonald's, soft drinks, and snacks, and consuming more healthy foods such as vegetables, protein, and good carbohydrates. So take a look at your YouTube homepage at the moment. Is it filled with useless entertainment content that is giving you an escape from your current reality? Or is it filled with positive educational content that's actually going to help change your life? Remember, your thoughts and behaviors are determined by the content that you consume. Habit number 4 is to let the money flow. One of the biggest mindset shifts that I've learned since embarking on this journey is that if you want to make money, you have to spend money. At the start of our entrepreneurial journey, we had a scarcity mindset when it came to money. And you see it with so many people, even those who are in high paying jobs. They earn a lot of money with their regular paycheck and they're more than happy to spend a few $100 going out on the weekend. But when it comes to actually investing money in educating themselves and improving their skill set, or investing in a side hustle, they're not willing to spend any money. We had a similar limiting belief when we first got started. A funny example of this was when we needed to buy some artificial lights for a shoot, and we tried to skimp out by buying these $70 lights from Amazon. They did not end up working very well, and we got so frustrated with it that Jason actually ended up chucking it against the wall and breaking it. And so we ended up having to buy the more expensive lights anyways. Now, if you're a filmmaker listening to this, don't take this as free reign to just splash all your cash on new gear and equipment. Get the necessary equipment to be able to make good content, but up to a certain point, the more gear that you accumulate won't necessarily mean that you'll make more money. Instead, learn to spend your money in these 3 other areas. Number 1 is your education, number 2 is sales and marketing, and number 3 is your team. As I mentioned earlier, it's so important that you get into the habit of continual learning and application. Because the more you learn, the more skills that you're able to accumulate, the more valuable you become to the marketplace. And that's something that no one will ever be able to take away from you. And spending money on sales and marketing is kind of like investing. You put X amount of dollars in and you get Y amount of dollars back. And this way of thinking was something that was quite difficult for us to grasp earlier on in our journey. For example, nowadays, we are part of a local business networking group where you have to pay $4,000 a year to become a member. Now that's pretty expensive. That's kind of like a golf club membership. But after a year, we've generated close to $100,000 in revenue from the relationships that we've built in that group. Amazing return, right? But at the start of our journey, when we used to have a limiting belief around money, we would have looked at that initial $4,000 investment and been like, whoa, no way, that is just way too much. And so these days, our way of thinking has really changed. Now, if we're presented with an opportunity that allows us to earn even more money, we're more than happy to spend money to invest in that opportunity and see where it goes. And so the third one, which I mentioned, was team. Again, a limiting belief that really held us back at the very start was thinking that we needed to do everything ourselves. But sometimes spending money to get others to come help you will actually free you up to do more high value tasks. And sometimes you can even spend money to hire people who can do something even better than you. And so the end product that you get will ultimately become better. And so this was the mindset shift that we really struggled with when we started our entrepreneurial journey. Habit number 5 is to embark on the path of perfection. Think about people who have become extremely successful in their chosen field. GOAT athletes like Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, Tom Brady, or entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and Jack Ma. When you hear them speak in interviews, you notice a common trait between all of them, which is this obsession to become the very best. And I think it's really important to recognize that no one can actually ever reach perfection. Perfection doesn't exist because there's always something that can be improved upon. And I'm not saying that you have to become, the best athlete in the world or the best entrepreneur, but if we can get into this habit of always striving for perfection and applying ourselves 110% to everything that we do, we're gonna be able to build something great. It's a way of living, a form of identity that you need to adopt in all areas of your life. A great line that sums up this mindset was actually from the movie The Last Samurai, which features Tom Cruise. And in that movie, he's watching a group of samurai warriors going about their everyday things, and he says this line:
"From the moment they wake, they devote themselves to the perfection of whatever they pursue. I have never seen such discipline."
And we can adopt this way of living in our own lives. Let's say you want to improve as a filmmaker. Dedicate small chunks of time every day to the perfection of your craft. You might not seem to be making much progress, but after doing this every single day on a consistent basis, you're going to notice a massive change. When I was working as a lawyer, I was pretty good at my job, but I didn't have that passion, that hunger to become the very best lawyer that I could be. I saw the path ahead of me, which was to climb the corporate ladder, and it wasn't a path that I felt like I could devote my whole self to. But I did with filmmaking and entrepreneurship. From the moment we started learning how to use a camera, we were obsessed with trying to get better and better each and every single day. When we weren't getting paid to make videos, or we were getting paid very little money to make videos, we didn't care. We just wanted to gradually get better and better and better. Over time, as our skills and our work improved, the money that we earned in our business gradually caught up. So in our opinion, those are the 5 key habits that allowed us to build a 6-figure business. When we first started this journey, it wasn't even in our realm of thinking that we could earn 6 figures in business. I still remember how excited we were earning our first dollar. And so if you're at a similar stage in your journey as we were when we first started, I hope that this video helps. Apply these 5 habits into your own life, and I promise you, you will be well on your way to achieving whatever it is that you hope to achieve. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this video valuable. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell button to get notified every time we post a new video. We also have an email newsletter, link in the description box down below, that you can sign up to. And with that, guys, my battery is almost starting to run out, so I will say bye-bye. See you guys next time.